My wife went out every Tuesday for book club. I was suspicious, so I printed a fake flyer for a book signing event and left it on the kitchen counter. That Tuesday, I followed her to a motel instead. The next day, I mailed her book club a leather-bound album titled Chapters She Forgot to Mention. Each page had photos, dates, and screenshots. The group disbanded. She lost more than her reading list. I never used to pay attention to Tuesdays. They were just part of the routine. Work, dinner, maybe a game on TV, maybe not. But over the last couple of years, Tuesdays started feeling different. My wife, Carla, claimed it was book club night. Same time every week. She'd leave around 6:30 p.m., wearing something nice, not over the top, but nicer than I remembered her wearing for anything else. She always smelled like perfume, something floral. The first few months, I didn't care. I even thought it was good for her. She worked hard. A night with the girls sounded fine to me. But then she started acting strange. More distant. Always smiling at her phone. Texting a little too fast, laughing a little too hard at messages she wouldn't show me. I'd ask, "What's so funny?" She'd say, "Just Susan being ridiculous." Or Jenna. Or Claire. She always had a name ready. Never hesitated. One night, she left her phone on the kitchen counter. I wasn't snooping, at least not at first. A message popped up, "I miss you already. Same time next week?" Then a heart emoji. No name, just a number I didn't recognize. I stared at it until the screen went black again. I felt like my whole body was hot and freezing at the same time. I didn't confront her. I didn't say a word that night. I just lay in bed next to her, staring at the ceiling, trying to pretend my chest didn't feel like it was caving in. That's when I started watching her more closely. Every Tuesday, I kept track. What time she left. What she wore. What she carried. She always brought the same tote bag. One with a quote on the side, "Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be." I started to hate that bag. I work at a print shop. Mostly do flyers, invitations, menus for restaurants. I know how to make something look official. So one Sunday night, I designed a fake flyer, book signing event, meet the author, Carla Bennett, national best-selling author of Tides of Time, Willow Creek Library, Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. It looked legit. I even used the library's real logo. I left it on the kitchen counter Monday morning, acting like I'd just gotten it at work and dropped it off with the junk mail. She saw it that evening while pouring herself a glass of wine. She picked it up and asked, "Carla Bennett?" Supposedly she's a big deal. "I've never heard of her either," I said. She nodded, said something like, "Maybe I'll look her up." She set the flyer down and didn't mention it again. Tuesday night came. She dressed up again. Not flashy, just polished. She kissed me goodbye like always and said, "Don't wait up." At 6:38 p.m., I got in my truck and followed her. She didn't drive toward the library. She got on the highway. 10, maybe 12 minutes later, she turned into the parking lot of a cheap motel on Route 9. The kind of place where people pay cash. The sign flickered. I parked across the street behind a gas station and watched her walk to room 108. She knocked twice. The door opened. A man, probably mid-40s, came out and smiled. Big guy. Balding. Wore a tucked-in polo like he thought he was better looking than he was. He pulled her into a hug and kissed her. I stayed for another 5 minutes. Then I drove home, not even sure how I got there. I didn't sleep much that week. But I had a plan now. Every Tuesday night, I followed her. Took photos. I bought a cheap digital camera, one of those ones teens use for concerts. I snapped pictures from a distance. Her car in the lot. Her at the door. Him waiting. Over the next few weeks, I got photos of them hugging, kissing, and once, him bringing out a small bag and handing it to her before she left. Probably a gift. She never brought it into the house. Back at home, I started digging through her laptop. We shared it. She probably forgot that. I opened her email and saw more than I wanted to see. Messages with subject lines like "miss you" and "counting down." Photos. Plans. He called her my escape. She told him he made her feel alive again. What hurt the most? She wasn't just cheating. She was sharing. Talking about our life. Talking about me. Laughing at how easy it was to lie to me. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I wasn't interested in yelling or crying. I wanted it to hurt. So I started building something. I designed a leather-bound photo album. Real classy looking. Black cover with gold letters stamped across the front, chapters she forgot to mention. The first page said, Chapter 1, Tuesdays. Photos of the motel. Her car. Her walking up to room 108. Next page, Chapter 2, Between the Sheets. Screenshots of her texts. I blurred out the real graphic stuff, but I left enough. The "I need you" texts. The "I wish I could fall asleep beside you." Next, Chapter 3, Book Club Fiction. More photos. More proof. I added the fake flyer in there too, and a note, the night she said she'd be at the library. The last page had a calendar. Every Tuesday for the past 6 months, marked in red. Then I made copies. She had 6 friends in the book club. I found their addresses through a mix of Christmas cards, Facebook, and return labels on thank you notes. I mailed each album in a plain envelope, no return address. Sent them all on the same morning. 3 days later, all hell broke loose. Jenna, her closest friend, came to the house. She didn't even knock, just walked in. Her eyes were red. She threw the album on the coffee table. "You could have just told us," she said. "We're not your cover story. We're your friends." She left before Carla could say a word. Later that night, Carla came into my room, holding one of the albums. Her hands were shaking. "What the hell is this?" she asked. I didn't even look at her. "You sent this to them?" "Yep. You ruined everything." I finally looked up. "No. You did that. I just showed them the ending." After that night, things changed fast. She stopped going out on Tuesdays. Stopped going anywhere, really. The friends she used to brag about, gone. Jenna blocked her number. Susan returned a gift Carla had given her for her birthday, with the note, "Don't bother calling me." At first, Carla tried to pretend it was all some big misunderstanding. She started acting like she was the victim. "You humiliated me," she said one morning, standing in the kitchen in her robe, gripping a coffee mug like it might keep her grounded. "You didn't even talk to me first. You ambushed me." I just stared at her. "You want to talk now? After lying to me for how long? How many Tuesdays, Carla?" She didn't answer. She started crying. Not sobbing. Just silent tears running down her face. I didn't move. Didn't flinch. I wasn't there to comfort her anymore. I thought that would be the end of it, but it got worse. That Friday, her lover's wife, Tina, showed up at my job. I was in the back helping a customer when my coworker waved me over. "There's a lady out front asking for you. Says it's personal." I walked out and saw her. Blonde. Tired eyes. Holding a manila envelope. "I'm Tina," she said. "I'm guessing you know who I am." I nodded. "Yeah. She handed me the envelope. My divorce lawyer might contact you. There are texts in there, and pictures. Things that might help your case too. I took it. Thanks. She paused before walking away. You handled this smarter than I did. I found out months ago and just screamed. You? You burned her world down slow. Then she left. At home, Carla was spiraling. She'd lost her circle. Her job at the clinic was next. Turns out 2 of her coworkers were in that book club. Word spread. Patients noticed. Her boss called her in and said it was best to step away until things settle. She tried to act like it wasn't a big deal. Maybe I'll go back to school. Or take some time off. But I could see it. The guilt, the shame, the growing panic that her safety net was gone. And then she made it worse. A week later, I came home to find her sitting at the kitchen table with a man, lawyer type. She looked up and said, "This is Brian. He's here to talk about options." "Divorce options," Brian said, too cheerful for my taste. She actually had the nerve to try and make demands. Half the house. Spousal support. She said she gave up her career to support me. That I owed her. I laughed. Loud and long. You cheated. 4 months. Lied to everyone. You think I owe you anything? She looked like I slapped her. But I didn't care anymore. I lawyered up the next day. And then something unexpected happened. Jenna, her ex-best friend, called me. She wanted to talk. Said she had something important. We met at a diner outside town. She looked tired, like the whole thing had drained her too. After some small talk, she dropped it. I think there's more going on than just the affair. I leaned in. Like what? She pulled out her phone. Carla asked me to lie. Not just cover for her. She asked me to say I was with her some nights. And she got weird when I said no. Said she'd take care of it. Then she showed me a message. It was from Carla. A few months back. If anyone asks, just say I was at your place. Please. It's just easier this way. I recognized the date. That was one of the motel nights. But Jenna didn't stop there. She also asked me if I knew anything about your finances. Like, what your shop makes. If you had insurance. Stuff like that. That set off alarms. I started thinking. Carla didn't just cheat. She was building a backup plan. Maybe even trying to set things up to come out ahead if we divorced. I went back through our accounts. Looked at statements. She'd opened a new bank account under her name only. Started moving small amounts every couple weeks. Not enough to flag anything. But it added up. She was getting ready to run. That's when I stopped playing defense. So now I knew, she wasn't just cheating. She was planning. I went full investigator mode. I didn't sleep much. I kept digging, bank records, text backups, old emails. I even checked a spare USB drive she used to store old photos. Hidden in a folder labeled Summer Reads were documents. One was a draft rental agreement for an apartment in Tampa. Another was a job application. And another? A fake resume with her maiden name on it. She wasn't just preparing to leave. She was preparing to vanish. She wanted a fresh start with her lover. No house. No mortgage. No husband. Just a new city, a new name, and, thanks to her secret account, some money to keep her afloat. And if I hadn't stopped her, she probably would have disappeared on a Tuesday night and never looked back. That changed things. I sent the USB drive and the financial records to my lawyer. I wanted it all documented. Proof that she had planned this, not just emotionally but strategically. That mattered for court. But things started unraveling faster than I expected. Her lover? He got fired. I don't know if his wife reported something or if his workplace found out, but one day he vanished from social media and his name disappeared from the company's website. Carla tried to contact him. I saw the messages. Dozens of them. All unanswered. One night, I walked past the spare room and saw her sitting on the floor, phone in hand, staring at it like it would talk back. Then came the next twist. She found out about Jenna and me. Yeah. That happened. Not the way it sounds. It wasn't romantic, not at first. After that diner meeting, Jenna and I kept in touch. We were both angry. Hurt. Betrayed by the same person. And over time, we started talking more. Then meeting up more. Then laughing again. It was like breathing after being underwater. It started with coffee. Then drinks. Then one night, I kissed her. She didn't pull away. I didn't plan it. Neither of us did. But it felt good. Real. Honest. Carla found out because she still had access to our joint calendar. I had stupidly marked a dinner with Jenna as catch-up dinner. Carla guessed. Or maybe she just knew. She stormed into the kitchen one night holding my phone. "You're screwing Jenna now," she shouted. I looked at her, calm as hell. "Funny. That's what you said when I first found out about you." She threw the phone at the wall. Shattered it. Then she screamed. Not a loud scream. More like a broken, gasping sound. Like someone who just realized they'd lost the war, not just a battle. And that's when she did the next unthinkable thing. She tried to turn me into the villain. She told people I was abusive. That I was controlling. That I'd made her miserable for years. That I isolated her. That the affair wasn't betrayal, it was escape. She went to our friends, well, the few who still spoke to her. She even posted online. I woke up one morning to find my business tagged in a local Facebook group. Someone asked, "Is this the guy whose wife had to flee him?" It took everything I had not to drive home and lose it. Instead, I posted screenshots. Of her texts. Her plans. Her bank records. The fake resume. I didn't say anything harsh. I just wrote, "There's always more to the story. Here's mine." It went viral in town. People took sides. But most saw through her. She got quieter after that. Deleted her Facebook. Stopped showing her face in public. Then came the biggest twist. She wasn't done. My lawyer called me one day with a weird tone in his voice. "She's filing a claim," he said. "Against your shop." "For what?" "She says you used business funds to track her. Claims emotional distress. Wants financial compensation." I laughed so hard I almost dropped the phone. "She's suing me for catching her cheating?" He sighed. "It's weak, but it's still a legal move. She's trying to tie up the divorce. Force a settlement." Now it wasn't just about revenge. It was about survival. The court date came fast. She showed up wearing all black, like she was mourning something, maybe the life she burned down. Her lawyer was slick, confident, full of fake smiles. Mine came in with a box full of proof. Photos. Emails. Bank records. Printouts of text messages, some I hoped never to read again. He called it the Tuesday file. We sat across from each other at that long, cold table. She wouldn't look at me. I didn't care. I wasn't here to play nice. I was here to end this. Her lawyer started with the whole performance, how she was emotionally abused, how she felt trapped, how she had to find comfort somewhere else because her husband neglected her. Then it was our turn. My lawyer stood up, cool and calm. He didn't yell. He just handed over the evidence, piece by piece. He read her texts out loud, the ones where she said she was tired of pretending, where she called our marriage a joke. Then he showed the receipts, how she moved money secretly, the rental in Tampa, the new identity with her maiden name. The judge looked at her. Cold eyes. He said one thing, "Your story doesn't match your actions." And that was it. She lost. Not just the case. She lost the right to the house. She lost any claim to spousal support. The judge granted the divorce with a line that hit harder than I thought it would: this was not a case of emotional distress. This was manipulation. Outside the courtroom, she waited for me. I walked past her like she was invisible. But she grabbed my arm. Her eyes were red. Makeup smeared. Hands shaking. "I loved you once," she said. I pulled my arm free. I believe that. Once. Jenna and I didn't last, either. Maybe it was the trauma. Maybe it was just too much too soon. We stayed friends. But it never became more than that again. We both needed to heal, and we both knew it. I stayed in the house. Fixed it up. Tore out the old bedroom carpet, painted the walls, got rid of every last piece of furniture she ever picked out. I even sold her stupid tote bag in a garage sale for 25 cents. Tuesdays became mine again. Not for revenge. Not for watching. Not for hurting. For peace. She moved out of town. I heard she tried starting over somewhere in Florida. Someone sent me a photo of her working at a grocery store, hair pulled back, no ring on her finger. They said she looked tired. I just nodded. I made mistakes too. I ignored signs. I stayed quiet too long. I let love blind me, and then I let hate fuel me. I hurt people along the way, Jenna, her friends, maybe even myself. But I told the truth. I fought back with facts, not fists. I didn't scream. I didn't hit. I just showed them everything. And I slept easy after that. Because when someone rewrites the story to make themselves the victim, sometimes the best revenge is handing out the original chapters. One page at a time.